Right, well I'm going to get all my little bits and bobs done before we go away, and I've been printing off my overheads because I'm not relying on them having a computer projector. I will suggest it though if they haven't got one. So these will do for talks. Now you would think that the QE2 would have the best available whatsits, but being a natural hard-bitten skeptic, I doubt very much whether they have. And I have of course printed off all the letters that need to go before we leave, so they can be percolating through the system while we're gone.
Packing these films up.
Yes, Lucy's packing the films for my talk. So now it's getting ready to do things time, so we're running the jolly email just to see what's going on over there. And if you care to look over in this little corner, you'll see the printer, which is busily running off my PowerPoints for a talk about genes. Right, this will be the last pile of junk coming through. I mean, pile of junk. Interesting messages coming through. And then we shall be away to pastures new, and a couple of weeks of, I think, justifiable relaxation. So it looks like a nice little, intimate little pod with its tasteful little fanpipe screen. But it's not, is it, Daddy? No. It's a 777. And this is its club class snazzy little compartment, just recently remodelled. Ooh. And there it is, the epitome of civilization and English style, recently bought by that brash American company Carnival Cruises. But it still looks good. Even if she does now fly the American flag.
Nice. Well, we're only about 5 minutes to boarding, and what is so interesting is we're doing it from the New York end, whereas before we've always done it from Southampton.
Well, this is it. Home for the next 2 weeks.
A real bathroom on a ship. Oh, and yet more.
Look, a bath.
And another robe. We've got so many robes, we don't know what to do with them. But I'm sure we'll find something to do with them.
Oh, look at that. A little dish of strawberries and champers already. Well, that can't be bad. Jaddy, you want some bubbles? Do you remember that then, Jad?
Yeah, I remember it so well.
Well, the dieting seems a really good idea at home, but this buggers that completely.
That's my thinking, like nibbling. At least they're stocking the right books.
There's the aircraft carrier museum just along there.
to the Empire State one Christmas. Looked very pretty. And although this looks really nice now, it's so much nicer when you sail in and it's dark and the lights are on. It's like fairyland.
So this completes the set nicely actually, because it means that we've had daylight and night time. And we've had an arrival and a going.
Just shortly after we pass the marine
I must say, yes it is, I must say, this is a good way to see New York, where you're aseptically detached and can look at it like as it is, a wild animal in a zoo.
And at the end you will see a rock.
Absolutely amazing. It really is.
Now the building has been demolished, but the clock is still there in memory of its use. Also, the very important regional buildings of Island by itself. Looks like a Disneyland. That is the old Lackawanna Railroad. 8 million immigrants passed Intercontinental Freight to apply, representing a total weight of 90. Construction was started with heavy.
It was so lovely to see the Statue of Liberty. But while I was listening to all the guff about, you know, it was given by the French for the liberty and the doodah, they were only giving it to the Americans because they hated us. And the Americans unfortunately won, which they were so pleased about the French, because we've basically beaten them at everything, really.
As a rule, we are known for travelling light, but not on this trip. And she knows she's got the full armoury of clothes. Just look at the amount we've been able to bring. Our dressing room contains that, those, and these. What more could anybody possibly want? Early next morning.
I think I'll also try some of their pasta today for lunch. See how they do it.
Whilst deliberations go on over there for what we'll eat, I'm torn at the moment between more caviar and the reindeer, medallions of reindeer, very odd thing to find in the middle of the ocean. You imagine as though, did they shoot Santa? But meanwhile, of course, we have little lectures to prepare this morning. Oops!
That's your breakfast, that one. You put that one in.
Thank you very
How are
much.
you both?
Indeed.
Well?
Yes, very well. We have scrambled eggs and American bacon. We have rolls. We have coffee. We have juice. From the cold to the balmy. Absolutely lovely.
Well, let's go and have a drink before I do some work. Bye-bye, ship.
I'm having an American coffee, what was it?
Americano.
Americano.
The vital question. Are you better now, dear?
Much better. Much better.
That Lauren here
Yeah.
was thinking about sensitive souls and stuff before you got up this morning. Tell me, Lauren, what happened? Oh, she's gone shy.
About the whole story?
Yes.
About attracting the birds?
Yes.
And the butterflies?
No.
But she kind of said it in a sort of way.
Yeah.
She's too shy.
Yeah.
And too charming.
Very shy.
Well, it's fantastic, very sort of
Florida-esque.
Florida.
Well, I must say, it's so often happens in life. This is just,
A very pleasant way to spend a Sunday morning.
yeah, it's just like I thought the waterfront at Fort Lauderdale would be.
Yeah.
But it's rather nicer than you can possibly imagine.
Very much so.
You're sampling the Riverwalk. Coconut Climber is a pina colada. Popsicle is with vanilla ice cream. It's like a dreamsicle or creamsicle. If you like grapefruit juice, you would enjoy summer art.
I think I'll have the Riverwalk.
If I can help you with any information, I'll be glad to do from here west. We are at DDA Plaza Bouvier Park. Hold the map like so. And if you would look to your right would be Museum of Art.
Yeah.
You look back over my shoulder would be the Andrews Avenue Bridge.
What are you doing, shopping?
I'm trying to chase my husband. There he goes again.
Yes, but my wife actually said to me, we need to go up in the mall if you like, and I said, the only male for miles who said this, I said, no, I'd love you to go to the mall.
Fun stuff.
That's good. These are still a little bit of water. Yeah. They're still dry on the top. Water them until the water's running down the side. Strange to think this was just a maritime waterfront. The development's great. Mind you, they have got the weather to back it up.
Tune your heart to mine the way it used to be. Join with me in harmony. Sing the song of loving. We're bound to get tuned again. Before too long, there'll be no missing but not know when your heart belongs to me completely. You won't be slightly out of tune. You sing along with me.
Some of it like shoe boxes.
They really do look like huge floating, enormous. Have a glass of champagne to say goodbye to our Norwegian friends and also goodbye to Miami and hello Madeira. Near
You get a zoom on that? Yes. Well, that was the most. I didn't think that the takeoff was going to be quite as exuberant as it was. Everybody said, "Watch out for the flags and the hooters."
Yes.
But what an atmosphere!
I know. That's great. I love that.
We'll have I'm sorry, another white. Two white.
Sunset, yeah.
Oh, this song.
And our mighty ships of beauty. That's the end of it.
No, I like the singing. Or what I want
That's
to know
all I know.
What I want to know is, does he get the gig?
He doesn't get the gig, and he's turned down again. But he's going to try again next week. They are old.
Speak for yourself.
Me, I'm old, but I mean.
I have to tell you, I have to honestly admit this, that what they offer on the menu is Sevruga caviar, which is a nice caviar. It's proper caviar, but it's not the classy stuff. And Richard, our good friend, our trusty steward, was kind enough to tell us that they do actually have beluga molossil caviar tucked away, and that's what he's dug out. And since he'd got used to it, it seemed a shame to break the habit. So yes, we have it every evening. And why not?
Well, you have it every evening.
Yes.
An off now.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yummy soup. Cauliflower with cream.
Oh, how unusual.
Really nice.
And as the curry sauce is demolished over there, the caviar is going to a grateful recipient at this end of the table. This is the remarkable thing, of course, about a cruise ship, is a sense of contrast. Here we are in a dark, cool, muted, relaxing cocktail bar, and yet just through the door and you're out in the middle of blistering, tropical, wondrous.
I got the towels,
You got the towels? Okay, let's have a look.
Cool. It's pretty nice. It's like before your exercise and the line of water to do it for you.
I've got a prawn coming in over here. This here. You know, I don't want to get stuck on this island, but sir, around this island, all right? I should have put that in before. Pineapple. So, this is a fan brush. Okay.
Isn't it awful to think? Isn't it awful to think we've actually got acrylic pictures at home, acrylic paints at home, and we've never used them?
I can picture. I think it looks a lot better that way than from my eyes only.
Well, that's the one you started. That's the one you're copying. I think that's very good.
Yeah.
He's a kind, really.
You need actual practice, don't you?
Yeah.
To deal with the paint.
I still prefer the photograph to my painting, but it worked in a way.
Yeah, yours is better than mine.
Oh, these are wonderful. I love your flowers.
Oh, thank you.
No, really, they're... And that's the fun part. The idea is to...
Very good. Just about ready for the off.
I'm going to have a pink lady.
I'm making no comment at all.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much.
And they're better than waffles.
Is that the medicine Madam needed?
Oh, yes.
Well, a very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. Welcome to our cabaret show for tonight. If you embarked in New York City or Southampton, you would have seen this gentleman at the very front of our crew.
Anyone that you adore can, love is all that I can give to you. Love is more than just a
Yeah, because we're now in the theatre, and this I want to announce to the world. This is Big Dick. Not so much a name, more a job description.
Guess what I had for lunch, for dessert for lunch today?
Come on, then.
Yeah, come in.
I had spotted dick.
You can get tablets for that, you know.
I said to myself, that sounds like I should go to a urologist quickly. And the lady at the next table was very offended by it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, she did.
The red, red wine, you make me feel so fine. Keeps me rocking all of the time. The red, red wine, you make me feel so fine. I feel $1 million when you just in my hand. The red wine, you make me feel so fine. They call on to you, we follow my heart. The red wine, you make me feel so fine. The knocky pocky, red wine, yeah, mom. Yeah, mom.
What a tiny boat to be 2,000 miles from home.
Yeah.
And the injured fisherman on board that tiny little vessel will always be glad that the QE2 was within 150 miles.
You'd think they would send two. It's going to rain little months now, but we see when you're coming, when they have to go with the boat to see what's wrong.
It's extraordinary to think that we stand here in such closeted luxury, watching this drama unfold in the Atlantic Ocean. There's ours alongside.
Yes, yes.
And that is the Spanish boat, 2,000 miles from home. I was saying, isn't it incongruous that we watch a life and death struggle
Yes.
from the luxury of a cruise boat?
Yes, it is, isn't it? But see, it's marvellous that we are here to save them, isn't it?
Were we not? I don't know who else would be.
No, I don't. Even though we had to go 4 hours back. It's really
Now he
along
can
like a
really...
cork.
Yes, he is like a cork, isn't he? And right up against us.
Yes. Oh, they're lowering.
There's the remains of the sunset, Jan.
Yep.
Amazing to think that chappie would be out there now. Hope you'll not be able to rescue him.
Yeah.
And what a breezy night it is.
And perhaps won't you sing, I should have swam all night, I should have swam all night.
Over she goes!
Ladies and gentlemen, the QE2 show band. Mr. Phil Carr, a very good evening to you. Horn and Frank Sinatra recorded this song called Where Are We? It seems we're stood and talk like this before. We looked at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. The girl you're wearing, the smile that you're smiling, you were smiling then, but I can't remember when. Oh, when. Where or when the music of Sinatra.
It even gets the old rockers rocking, doesn't it?
Third lecture by Brian J. Ford this morning. Just to tell you a little bit about the lecture itself, Brian actually recently gave a headline-making lecture in London. It was reported widely in the national press with large features in the Daily Telegraph and the Guardian. He gave a major interview on the BBC's Today programme, and he argued that science hasn't resulted from professional scientists so much as from the work of amateurs. He explained his details more recently in the New Scientist magazine, and here for the first time as a public presentation he explains how everyone can be a scientist. The lecture is Forgotten Amateurs Who Gave Us Science. Please welcome once again Brian J. Ford.
You mustn't be too cross with our cruise director if he sometimes seems to be existing in a different temporal plane. We all thought, did we not, that when they cancelled Madeira and substituted the Azores, gosh, that's rather neat. You don't normally go to the Azores, that will be interesting. But of course, Colin had a number of stars on this ship, due to start work in Madeira, and he has entire teams of entertainers rehearsing on Madeira, ready to be picked up. So he does ask me to say that if any of you, preferably those without walking sticks, do dance, can sing, have experience as musical arrangers, or are dab hands at amateur conjuring, would you please give him your name just as soon as you possibly can. And if you have a frilly dress, that applies to the women only, then so much the better. Now today, we're continuing a kind of a theme here. When you look at the history of American science, for example, you think of, well, Edison would be the classical example of the gifted amateur who made great technical achievements. Steve Jobs at Apple, Bill Gates at Microsoft. Neither of them completed their university course. Clive Sinclair, the British inventor, who gave us the successful home computer, never even went to university. Albert Einstein, who gave us the greatest theory in science, the theory of relativity. You think of him as a white-haired, impressive professor of mathematics. When he wrote his theory, however, he was a clerk in the patent's office in Zurich and did all his work in his spare time with a pencil. DNA, discovered by, the structure of DNA, discovered by Crick and Watson. They were both, as I mentioned the other morning, warned off doing this work and told that they should not bother. And the most current of all, the genome. We all know the great global international genome project, which has unraveled the sequence of bases in human chromosomes. But it's also been matched out in Walnut Creek in California by Craig Venter, an independent man who set up his own company and who in the same length of time as the international consortium managed also to decode the human genome. So, ladies and gentlemen, although it's tempting to think of people like Charles Darwin with his long beard and his gravitas, when Darwin was doing his original work, he was wearing jeans and sneakers like anybody else. Modern science was given to us by amateurs, by rebels, and the minds of individuals, people exactly like you. Thank you very much.
Otherwise we have no cannon fodder.
I'm going to have one of those. Thank you very much indeed.
I don't know what it is. I just think it's like a table and slows down or something.
So, having had pre-dinner drinks, we're now going to have to say goodbye, and we shall join everybody for post-dinner drinks a little bit later. Won't we, my dear?
Yes. Yes, we will.
We'll see you in the yacht club.
Absolutely. Yes. Yacht club.
And I hope I look like your brother.
And outside, a beautiful new moon as the sun dies behind us in the west.
An honest man.
Way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby, and a breeze that's
dinner on the deck, looking over the rail at the central Atlantic.
Yeah, and the moon and the stars and the lovely sort of moonlight sort of shine across the...
And a myriad stars.
Wonderful. It's gorgeous.
Gorgeous is what it
Gorgeous.
definitely is.
Gorgeous, absolutely wonderful.
You can actually see the old moon in the arms of the new. French warship off the coast. Another little frigate.
Well, instead of Madeira, we have arrived in the Azores and it looks a pretty nifty place.
We're on the island of San Miguel, almost 1,000 miles from land, in Ponta Delgada, the capital city of the Azores. And look at that extraordinary Australian tree. That's a new one on me.
And what's so amazing is all the adventitious routes.
Because they have this enormous Saints' Day apparently starting in May, and everybody says they start the preparations for it a long time ahead. Well, they're already beginning to put up.
Oh, this is what it's about then?
Yes, but it's not till something like May the 8th, or
Well,
even
there's
later than
nothing
that.
like being prepared.
Absolutely,
Nothing like being
absolutely.
prepared.
And what an absolutely stunning ship she is.
Isn't she gorgeous?
Yeah, she is. And they tell me that, yes, a proper looking ship, not just a big box. Shan't complain if you do go aboard a big box, I may say, but this is a proper looking ship from a third of a century ago. And they say just about the fastest still at sea. The modern ones go crawling along at 16 or 18 knots. And this one can do 36.
Yeah. Shopping centre, Portuguese style, and very nice too.
The local craft shop, where among the goodies you find such Azores specialities as Italian pasta plates, American cartoon figures, and of course terracotta warriors from Siang province. And that's just about the only sign of tourism. There must be what Spain and Portugal and Italy must have been like before they built all those tourist hotels everywhere.
Yeah.
A step back in time. Fascinating climate. The fact that they grow broad beans and potatoes and radishes, but also oranges and even bananas.
I'm just trying to see what they have that they hang up against the evil eye or something. And what I've noticed is they have quite a lot of red hearts. I think it's a very religious symbol.
Azores lunch. Flaky thing with local spicy sausage, and afterwards a little creamy sort of, it's really a custard tart, Azores style, but that's the local speciality, I'm sure, so we'll try one of those in a minute.
Nice.
Not for the first time in foreign countries, a red pillar box, English style. University of the Azores. A little bit of a rundown university. A nice young man just showed me their very small microscopical lab, but he said they're moving out of there and into a new biology building. Look at these extraordinary trees. Wonderful hibiscus. And the muscovy with her young. Nice environment in which to study. There's the ancient fort, built of enormous great blocks of lava. I'm always massively impressed by these enormous anchors. You look at the amount of manufacture and the amount of solid iron in them. They themselves are extraordinary technological achievements. Because we're saying bye-bye. We're not saying goodbye to us.
No.
We're saying goodbye to there.
To there, but you can't actually see it.
Enjoy yourself.
We made up for it then.
Yes, that's what's putting the ship. It's extraordinary, isn't it?
So tired. What's in the waist?
Well, unique chance to visit the Azores. An ambition realised before I even realised I had the ambition.
The teaching ago who's got a contract for giving fruit. The fruit, not the fruit manufacturer, but a massive big fruit firm, and they kind of, quality.
Well, I think it's memory lane case in South Africa.
Yeah, just those on the. I think they've done chain lanes and those sort of things.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, where whoever he was the manager of Belfast.
Hopefully. Oh, Monday.
Not the Boston. No.
Third.
Fourth.
Have you seen the new stadium?
Wonderful. Did you go in and did you do a tour or
No,
did you go and walk around?
Yeah, we walked around.
Yeah. It's nice. It's a beautiful island.
It is.
It is.
Hello, darling.
Hello, dear.
We're still driving past this tiny island.
He looked at them and said, not on this trip.
So, it's farewell to the Azores and off across the Atlantic to Portugal.
The Azores were fantastic. I'd always sort of imagined them to be a sort of a grey granite sort of type of rock when they say high over the Azores. But it's a bloody great island, really, and it's lovely, really lovely.
We've got one more talk the day after tomorrow, but today we look at the cult of the expert and how to fight back. He, of course, is a broadcaster, scientist and author. Would you please welcome Mr. Brian J. Ford.
Well, I always find it quite extraordinary how much touching, we might even say misplaced faith we have in the world of the expert. We do believe that people with expert knowledge and expert understanding have a unique hold on life, but in fact, of course, most of the time they're conning us. In researching on a cure for cancer. Now, looking at thorium atoms in a scanning electron microscope, in a transmission electron microscope, has nothing to do with cancer, any more than playing tennis or sipping sherbet. It is an unrelated activity. Coming back to me, he said, what is that, that beautiful scented flower? You know, it's the national emblem of St. George, spines down the stem. And his friend said, a rose? And he said, yes, that's right. Turned to his wife and called, Rose, what was the name of that doctor?
There's our ship, moored today at Lisbon. And the famous fort that guards the harbour. Chilly wind this morning. And that fabulous monument finished in 1960. The great 14th and 15th century explorers that went from Portugal all around the world. We too often forget that. Just setting off into unknown territories in tiny little ships. What an extraordinary thing to do. Never knowing whether you'd get there, never knowing whether you'd get back. Old Moorish walls from the ancient Arabic castle, but with later church windows built in to make it look kind of Christian. Tiny narrow streets behind. Really is much more like an Arabic Medina, not like anything Portuguese. And we think those sticking out bits are actually reused battlement tops from an old Arabic wall. Makes sense, doesn't it?
Here we are having proper coffee and kiki, just like they do in the Arab countries. So cheers.
when the waiter actually says, when we ask for cafe, and he says cafe and cakes, it's impossible not to think of dear old Ned. Wonderful buildings clad in ceramic tiles. They really are a hallmark of Lisbon. That and the trams.
We're now going to embark on the old passenger place.
Terminal.
Terminal.
That's the one. At the old maritime station. And in what would have been the waiting room, there's now a market. Every husband's nightmare. The student of sociology needs to notice how the husband compares with the of the wife.
Right. I think that should do it.
And there's the passenger terminal building, viewed from our porthole.
Exactly. What town? Like what big town on that side?
We're toasting the by-by, aren't we?
Yes.
The by.
I don't have one.
Damn it! The shot's ruined.
Wait, I'll borrow hers.
Okay.
You know what? I just
Spontaneity. Cheers.
Cheers.
Au revoir, Lisbon. And there's their great statue of Christ, a mirror of the one in Rio, of course. Not quite as high and not quite as big.
I think it's very nice. I think it's lovely. I think it sort of gives that sort of sense of being looked after by the good spirit.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I think so.
There goes the ship's whistle to say goodbye. To go out under Portugal's version of the Golden Gate Bridge. Enormous great structure.
That was amazing. We were just going under the bridge,
yes,
and a plane was just going over the bridge,
and a train is whistling up there above us as well.
So it's, you know.
And a tugman is blowing kisses to my wife, who is cheekily blowing them back.
It's been a fantastic experience, and I am sure we'll be back.
Well, the seas are beginning to build up a little as we approach the Atlantic. And there, the westernmost part of mainland Europe. We've been to Cape St. Vincent, which is the bottom left-hand corner, but that's the bit that sticks out, just north of Lisbon, the bit that sticks out furthest to the west. Not quite as far west as Western Ireland, I may say. We'll have to go there one day. But how wonderful it looks on a deceptively sunny evening with stormy weather promised ahead.
Time to start putting some things away and getting dressed for this evening.
That's it, it's informal. I can wear my nice little red coat. Ooh! The champagne cork in there. I've not the slightest idea where that one came from. Another for the collection.
Party night at the Lido.
Oh, I do like ice sculpture. Looks like a wedding reception.
It does, doesn't it? It looks absolutely gorgeous.
Isn't it terrific?
They've done it so well.
It's the last night before we go to France, you see, so they make a special effort on the last night.
That is something else. That is something else.
Well, we're in a shopping centre in Le Havre. Just come off the boat.
Ship. They'll kill you for calling it a boat.
Oh my God, the ship.
Yes.
And we just had a little look around.
Remember the first time we went on that, oops, almost said it, ship, in the 70s, a long time ago now. And Jaddy was saying to one of the stewards, oh, we're having a wonderful time. He said, oh, I'm so glad, madam. And she said, it's a lovely boat. And he went, madam, he said, the boats are what hang along the sides of the deck in case of emergency. This, madam, is a ship. So we've become boat allergic ever since, although when you're aboard, you do find yourself saying, oh, I do like this boat. This is an authentic little French bar. And you can tell it's authentic because of the wonderful traditional decor and the wonderful black coffee and the squat toilets out the back. That's the hallmark of authenticity where you travel, isn't it, Jack? Merci.
Yeah, you did.
What do you do with it? Thrust it in your mouth or thrust it back into somebody else's
It was
mouth?
a Mars bar on that.
It's probably an OXO cube. Probably an OXO cube, that's what it was. So what has the younger generation been doing today?
We've to the liquor store.
Been to
I could have guessed, couldn't I?
We bought a case of wine.
Yes.
A case, yes.
Two bottles of gin.
Yes.
A bottle of Pinot de Charente.
These are people whose sole ambition in life is to throw off the onerous burden of sobriety.
Not pay for it on board ship.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And a bottle of Centimillion for tonight.
I get you.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where from? Up in town?
Well, we always have.
Oh right, because Paul said that they had good wine here on sale.
On the ship.
Yeah, no, in the terminal building.
Oh.
So I'm going to go and case
We
that.
went to the hypermarket.
But it is annoying to see wine for 30 bob, as we old folk call it. 30 bob a bottle.
Yeah,
but on the other hand, you see, the extra couple of quid is the energy involved in carrying the bugger back to Britain. And I'd sooner just buy it down Unwins and not have to struggle. But a case does sound like an interesting idea.
We got a taste for £9. A case for £9.
And heavy hearts, it's the last time that we see this ship, on this trip anyway, from the boarding angle.
Yep.
And what wonderful times you've had.
Yes, we have had lovely times. But
Great.
we'll be back.
Yes, great looking
We'll
ship
be
too.
back. As was it, which actor was it?
Schwarzenegger.
Bush, yeah.
I'll
We'll
be back. Yes, we'll be back, definitely.
Yeah, so.
The final tea time.
Hopefully only the last tea on this ship.
One egg salad.
Yeah, and one.
If this seems like continuous eating and drinking,
It's because it is. Sit down.
well, it was supposed to be raining its bollocks off yesterday, and it's supposed to be heavily raining today too. But this is a view of Southampton Water as we come back shortly after 6 in the morning, and it's so far bright and sunny and wonderfully familiar.
And there's Southampton city centre, just over there.
And that's the crane to bring our gangway. That's the aerial gangway there that they're going to swing across.
Well, we're now connected to the mainland.
Can't say much about that trip really,
No, it was gorgeous.
except that it was fabulous. That's the first chap aboard. I'd have a lot of things on.
Just waiting for the Cunard car to come.
And that'll whisk us up to King's Cross, and got my little ticket ready for the train. Was it like driving back on the left again, Jad?
Excellent. Brilliant.
Oh, how nice. Dry jam turds.
The coach that we've just seen, the Brijan coach, I've just noticed is full of the Cunard people that we've left not so long ago.
Oh, how wonderful.